Hey, we're here at the Believers Summit, the Turning Point Faith event, and I am sitting down with Heidi St. John. Heidi, welcome to the show.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so thanks so much for all you do. Like, we can talk about so many things. We can talk about homeschooling, we can talk about politics, but this show it's called It's Time to Stand Up. So, what do we need to be standing up for today?
Well, I think there's so many things, right? I mean, pick it. We're at an inflection point in the country, but one of the things I've been passionate about now for over 25 years is home education, and I think Christians have a role to play in what is happening to our children in the education system. Absolutely, we want to pull our kids out of these schools, right? They're injuring our children, body, soul, mind, and spirit. But more than that, I think the church has to start speaking out about the things that are targeting our children. So think about it. The issues that we are engaged in politically right now as a nation, 99.9% of them are moral at their root. And that means that the church has a responsibility to engage in these conversations. So we can take any one of a dozen things. But if you think about what we're voting on, for example, in November this year, what is happening at our southern border? Our children are being sex trafficked. That's what's happening. What's happening in our schools? Our children are being lied to and targeted. They're being told that their gender is just something that they make up in their head, and they could become a narwhal whale on Friday if they want to be. Our kids are being lied to. What's happening right now politically with the libraries? They're targeting children, right? And so we see the enemy taking a bold step at children, and I want to see this generation of believers, because we own this. We should own it.
That's right. That's right.
And this generation of believers needs to stand up. We need to hear this from the pulpits. I have a ballot and Bibles initiative going out from our 501c4 right now to say, hey, when you bring your Bible to church on Sunday, remember to take your ballot and remember to vote. We have a responsibility. So many things right now. We're at an inflection point for sure in the country.
Yeah, so how can people get that? Where would they go to HeidiSt.John.com, or where would they get that so they can take that with them?
Well, they can certainly find out more about what we're doing. We have a 501c4 called Firmly Planted Action, the 501c3 Firmly Planted Family that my husband and I founded nearly 27 years ago. We have the nation's largest homeschool resource center located just outside of Portland, Oregon. So this is our more of a political initiative to try to get the church to engage in politics.
Yeah, and you definitely need that up outside of Portland.
Oh, boy. Well, you know what's crazy? People will say, oh, man, you live outside of Portland, Oregon, you're in the belly of the beast. Well, I'm here to tell you we're all in the belly of the beast, right? We are watching what's happening in our country right now. The United States of America, the most amazing, incredible nation on the face of the earth, is circling the drain, largely because Christians have decided that we do not engage in politics. We've decided that it is not our place. And so when we removed ourselves, evil filled the vacuum. And I want to challenge your viewers today. Politics determines policy.
That's right.
And policy shapes the nation. And it seems to me that if policy shapes the nation, we want our nation shaped by the values that made this nation the greatest nation on the face of the earth. And that means we need to bring God again back into politics.
Yeah, and if you homeschool your children, you'll find all these things out, because you will actually read books that they're not offering in the public schools, because no longer are they teaching, they're not teaching history the way that from the Bible through all of time. There is a narrative, and if you don't know history, you are destined to repeat yourself. So when we started homeschooling, my husband's like, that's weird, and I was like, let's give it a year. And 30 some years later, we all survived, and I have good humans as a result. So I'm so glad that you're sounding the alarm about being politically active, about homeschooling, all the things. So if there was one last encouragement that you could give to moms out there, I feel like a lot of women, moms in general, are overwhelmed trying to, run their homes, take care of their families. There's so many issues. They don't know what to do. Give them one action step, because I don't want to just talk about the problems. I want to resource them. So what can they do?
Well, I think we need to remember the preciousness of family, right? The world has lied to women about what is precious in this life, right? The feminist movement has lied to women for generations. And, it's probably worth saying, and which I didn't say earlier, my husband and I have been married for 35 years and have 7 children, and soon to have 6 grandbabies. And it is the very best thing we ever did, aside from introducing our children to Jesus Christ, was get married young and have a passel of kids.
Yeah.
And I want to tell the young women, especially, I wrote a book called Becoming Mom Strong: How to Fight with All That's in You for Your Family and Your Faith. And the family is worth fighting for. Your children are everything. Our families are so precious. They're precious to the Lord. And the world's been lying to us about how precious it is. And I think, again, if we could refocus, mamas, I understand you're tired, right? But there's nothing that's worth doing in this life that's going to be easy. And so focus on the people that God has in your life. Love your people well. This is your life. Show up for it. Don't waste it.
Love it. Love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.